Hey you guys, Ocean Shine here, and I'm here to do a cartoon of Diana Ross. I just got done doing some squats. I'm trying to not lose weight, but what I'm trying to do is be more toner for next year. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a toned body. So I'm doing certain exercise that's revolving around toning. I got this vision how I want myself to look for next year. I got my face, the lupus, thank you Jesus, all cleared up because lupus you get like marks on your face, like look like scratches, but really the nerves be jumping through your skin. I got my face right. Now just exercising. I'm not gonna lie. I used to I'm not gonna lie when I say this. I used to exercise all the time, every day. I started from the age of 12 because I had free time on my hand because I was homeschooling. I started exercising, probably puberty too. I just didn't know it. I started exercising from the age of 12, always maybe till I was like 18. Then I kind of slowed down exercising because I was going to different things, going out and stuff. But I still was exercising. I really did not stop exercising until maybe I was like 24. But now I want to get back off into it. I want to get back on track. I just got a picture. I used to, there's a lot of things that I used to do that I want to do again. Just like this drawing. So, yeah. Every time I exercise, and I know I'm not the only one, you be exhausted. I didn't used to be exhausted, but now, I guess because I'm older. But I got this vision how I want to look for next year. I want next year to be better, not even for me, but for the world. Somebody else, oh, thank you, Jesus. We don't let nobody come over to our house. We don't see nobody. We only leave our house when it's necessary. Like, my dad got to go to work. We got to go to the store. We don't even go out to pay bills because we just pay online or over the phone. But somebody else died from corona, and I was like, oof. And people used to get mad at us because we did not open the door for them. Now, don't nobody barely want to open the door for anybody now. Man, don't mock people for doing and being different. Because you never know when you're going to have to start living the life that they are living. Ooh. Uncle tried to come over. I'm sorry. We can't let you in, man. We don't know do you got corona now. I don't know why they be like still trying to do it. I don't know. But anyway, Diana Ross. It's a cartoon Diana Ross. I'm using a marker. I'm not going to do press on the marker. I'm going to lightly go. I'm not going to do this. We're just going to do this. Light strokes, So let's get started. And I noticed that as long as I exercise, I used to notice it back then. As long as I exercise, my Tourette's didn't bother me as much. Look like when I stopped exercising, I started having a lot of Tourette's problems again that I thought I had grew out of. So I lay there quietly and studied the ceiling until I discovered that my wrists were tied together. That snapped me out of my lethargy in spite of the thumping head. I found it a very neat job, not painfully tight but perfectly efficient. Several turns of insulated wire on each wrist, and a complex knot on the far side where it was impossible. I still be having to rest with my hands. It come out for me writing my name and stuff. But I found out, I finally must not found out. I found myself to think more clearer. To risk it, prevent you from reading stuff right. Reading stuff right again. It just, you do gotta get your nerves underneath the control just to focus. Well, yeah.
It was not turned straight at me, but in my general direction. "Hello, Cock," it said, amiably enough. "Are you come too, have you? Hang on a bit, I'll get you a cup of char." And it vanished again. The instruction to hang on was superfluous, but I did not have to wait long. In a few minutes he returned, carrying a wire-handled can with some tea in it. "Where are you?" he said. "Straight ahead of you on the bed," I told him. He groped forward with his left hand until he found the foot of the bed, then he felt his way around it and held out the can. "Here you are, chap. You'll taste to it funny like, 'cause old Charlie put a shot of rum in it, but I reckon you'll not mind that." I took it from him, holding it with some difficulty between my bound hands. It was strong and sweet, and the rum hadn't been stinted. The taste might be queer, but it worked like the elixir of life itself. "Thanks," I said. "You're a miracle worker. My name's Bill." Yes, it seemed it was Alf. "What's the line, Alf? What goes on here?" I asked him. He sat down on the side of the bed and held out a packet of cigarettes with a box of matches. I took one, lit his first, then my own, and gave him back the box. "It's this way, mate," he said. "You know, there was a bit of a shindy up the university yesterday morning. Maybe he was there." I told him I'd seen it. "Well, after that lot, Coker, he's the chap that did the talking, he got kind of peeved. 'Okay,' he says, nasty-like. 'The buggers have asked for it. I'll put it to them fair and square in the first place. Now they can take what's coming to them.' But we've met up with a couple of other fellas and one old gobble can still see, and they fixed it all up between them. He's a lando, Coker." "You mean he framed the whole business? There wasn't any fire or anything?" I asked. "Fire, my old fanny. What they done was fix up a tripwire or two, light a lot of paper and sticks in the old and started ringing the old bell. We reckon that neighbours could see it'd be the first along on account of there being a bit of light still from the moon. And sure enough, they was. Coker and another chap was giving them the KOs. They tripped and passed them along to some of us chaps to carry out the lorry. Simple as kiss your head." I said ruefully. "Sounds efficient, that Coker. How many of us mugs fell into that little trap?" "I'd say we got a couple of dozen, though it turned out as 5 or 6 of them was blinded. When we laid it up about what we'd room for in the lorry, we beat it and left the rest to sort themselves out." End of disc 4. Disc 5.
Okay, so get all that down. I'm not gonna do her eyes and her eyebrows and her eyelashes just yet. I'm gonna wait to do it. Oh, forget about this.
I finished the tea and accepted another cigarette from him. "And what's the program now?" I asked him. "Coker's idea is to make
So first, let's work on her skin complexion.
You look after the scratching and kind of act as the eyes of the rest, like. Your job will be to help us get going until somebody comes along to straighten this perishing lot out." "I see," I said. He cocked his head towards me. There weren't any flies on Alf. He had caught more in my
I think I'm gonna try
"You reckon that's going to be a long time?" he said. "I don't know. What's Coker say?"
I want the
Coker, it seemed, had
premier
not been
color,
committing himself to details.
gold, white,
Alf had his own opinion.
and the crazy
If
art
you ask me, I reckon
brown.
there ain't nobody going to come. If there
So
was, they'd
let
have
me
been here before this.
see how this do.
Different if we was in some little town in the country, but London stands to reason they'd come here before anywhere else. The way I see it, they ain't come yet. And that means they ain't never going to come. And that means there ain't nobody to come. God, blimey, who'd have ever thought it could happen like this? I didn't say anything. Alf wasn't the sort to be jollied with facile encouragements. "Reckon that's the way you see it too," he said, after a bit. "Doesn't look so good," I admitted.
This is the toasted toffee right here.
People from somewhere abroad.
Now I'm gonna see how I do without the white.
They'd have come before this. They'd have had loudspeaker
Just the
cars around the
gold.
streets telling us what to do before this. No chap we've had it. There ain't nobody nowhere to come, that's the fact of it. We were silent. while.
Let's see.
Oh well, well, a bad old life while it lasted, he said.
Try some of this Spanish orange.
He had various jobs, each of which seemed to have included some interesting undercover work. He summed it up. One way and
I
another.
think I'm gonna try it with
What was your racket? I told him. He wasn't impressed. Truth is, nasty damn things are not natural, as you might say. We left it at that. Alf went away, leaving me to my cogitations on a packet of his cigarettes. I surveyed the
let me
outlook
see.
and thought a little. I wondered how the others would be taking it, particularly what would be Giselle's view. I got off the bed and went across to the window. The prospect was poor. An interior well with sheer white tile sides for 4 stories below me, and a glass skylight at the bottom. There wasn't much to be done that way. Alf had locked the door after him, but I tried it just in case. Nothing in the room gave me inspiration. It had the look of belonging in a third-rate hotel, except that everything save the bed had been thrown out. I sat down again on the bed and pondered. I could perhaps tackle Alf successfully even with my hands tied, provided he had no knife. But probably he had a knife, and that would be unpleasant. It would be no good a blind man threatening me with a knife. He would have to use it to disable me.
I'm gonna try it with the yellow.
Discovering what others I would have to
Let me
pass
see.
before I could find my way out of the
I'm gonna try it with the premier color,
It seemed
golden,
to wait for an opportunity.
and whatever color yellow this is first.
An hour later, Alf came back with a plate of food, a spoon, and more tea. Bit rough like, he apologized. But they said no knife or fork, so there it is. While I was tackling it, I asked about the others. He couldn't tell me much and didn't know any names, but I found out that there had been women as well as men among those that had been brought here. After that, I was left alone for some hours, which I spent doing my best to sleep off the headache. When Alf reappeared with more food and the inevitable can of tea, he was accompanied by the man he had called Coco. He looked more tired now than when I had seen him before. Under his arm, he carried a bundle of papers. He gave me a searching look. You know the idea? He asked. What else told me? I admitted. All right then. He dropped his papers on the bed, picked up the top one and unfolded it. It was a street plan of Greater London. He pointed to an area covering part of Hampstead and Swiss Cottage.
Okay, so now I'm gonna use the golden.
That's your beat, he said. Your party works inside that area and not in anyone else's area. You can't have each lot going after the same pickings. Your job is to find the food in that area and see that your party gets it. That, and anything else they need. Got that? Or what? I said, looking at him.
I forget something.
And if they do, it'll be just too bad for you. Some of the boys are tough, and we're not any of us doing this for fun. So watch your step. Tomorrow morning we'll run you and you'll not up there in lorries. After that it'll be your job to keep them going.
Try not to smudge the picture. The premier color will smudge on
And if
you.
nobody does come, I asked. Somebody's got to come, he said grimly. Anyway, there's your job, and mind you keep to your area. I stopped him as he was on the point of leaving. Have you got a Miss Clayton here? I asked. I don't know any of your names, he said. Fair-haired, about 5'6" or 7, grey blue eyes, I persisted. There's a girl about that size and blonde, but I haven't looked at her eyes. Got something more important to do, he said as he left. I studied the map. I was not greatly taken with the district allotted to me. Some of it was a salubrious enough suburb indeed, but in the circumstances a location that included docks and warehouses.
Okay, so
It was doubtful
now
whether
go get this toasted toffee, the crazy arc toasted toffee, and shade certain areas. Well, I'm gonna before I get to shade, let me go and just fill it in.
When Alf showed up again, I asked him if he would take a note to Gisella. He shook his head. Sorry, mate. Not allowed. I promised him it should be harmless, but he remained firm. trust me and would not be able to read the note to know that it was as harmless as I claimed. Anyway, I had neither pencil nor paper, so I gave that up. After pressing, he did consent to let her know that I was here, and to find out the district to which she was being sent. He was not keen on doing that much, but he had to allow that if there were to be any straightening out of the mess, it would be a lot easier for me to find her again if I knew where to start looking. After that, I had simply in my thoughts for company for a bit. The trouble was that I was not wholeheartedly set on any course. There was a damnable ability to see the points on both sides. I knew that common sense and the long-term view backed up Michael Wheatley and his lot. If they had started, Josella and I would doubtless have gone with them and worked with them. And yet I knew I would have been uneasy. I'd never been quite convinced that nothing could have been done for the sinking ship.
Okay,
I'm
so
quite sure that I have not rationalized my
got
own
that done.
preference.
Okay, now.
If, indeed, there was no possibility of organized rescue, then their proposal to salvage what we could was the intelligent course. But unfortunately, intelligence is by no means the only thing that makes the human wheels go round. I was up against the very conditioning that the old doctor had said was so hard to break. He was dead right about the difficulty of adopting new principles. If, for instance, some kind of relief should miraculously arrive, I knew just what kind of a louse I'd feel to have cleared out, whatever the motives, and just how much I despised myself and the rest for not having stayed here in London to help for as long as it was possible. But if, on the other hand, help did not come, how would I have felt about having wasted my time and frittered my efforts away, when stronger-minded people had started getting on with the salvage while the going was good? I knew I ought to make my mind up once and for all on the right course and stick to it. But I could not.
Okay, so now
I seesaw.
I'm gonna get some
Some hours
white.
later, when I fell asleep, I was still
Mhm.
seesawing.
Maybe not white, maybe something
There was no means
else.
of knowing which way Josella had made
But
up
what
her
can I
mind.
use?
I had no personal message from her.
I'll go
Alf put
add
his head in
white.
once during the evening. His communication
Just
had
the
been brief.
premier color
"Why
white.
sleep stop?" he said. "Cool. Don't reckon that dog's going to find much grub in the houses at Parliament." I was woken by Alf coming in early the following morning. He was accompanied by a bigger, shifty-eyed man who fingered a butcher's knife with unnecessary ostentation. Alf advanced and dropped an armful of clothes on the bed. His companion shut the door and leaned against it, watching with a crafty eye and toying with the knife. "Give us your mitts, mate," said Alf. I held my hands out towards him.
Okay,
He felt for the wires on my wrists and snipped them with a cutter. "Now just you put on that there clubber, chap,"
now do
he said,
her
slipping back.
makeup.
I got myself dressed while the knife fancier followed every
This is
movement
the
I made like a
premier
hawk.
color
When I'd finished, Alf produced a pair
violet.
of handcuffs. "There's just these," he mentioned.
I don't know why I picked it, I just
I
did.
hesitated.
Maybe
The
because
man
the
by the
outfit
door
she
ceased
had
to
on
lean on it and rolled
in
his
this
knife forward a
picture.
little. For him, this was evidently the interesting moment. I decided maybe it was not the time to try anything and held my wrists out. Alf felt around and clicked on the cuffs. After that, he went and fetched me my breakfast. Nearly 2 hours later, the other
Now
man
I'm gonna
turned
use
up again,
the
his
premier
knife well in evidence,
color red.
waved from the door. "Come on," he said. It was the only
Lightly.
remark I ever heard him make. With the consciousness of the knife producing an uncomfortable feeling in my back,
Lightly
we went down a
using
number
it.
of flights of stairs and across a hall. In the street, 2 loaded lorries were waiting.
Now I'm gonna use the
Coco, with
premier
2
color
companions,
pink.
stood by the tailboard
Once
of one.
again, lightly.
He beckoned me over. Without saying anything, he passed the chain between my arms. At each end of it was a
And
strap.
I'm gonna get the
One was fastened already around the left wrist
premier
of a
color
burly
white
blind
and
man
go over
beside
it
him.
again.
The other he attached to the right wrist of a
Now
silver
since I
case,
get all that
so that I was between them.
down.
They weren't taking any unavoidable chances. "I'd not try any funny business if I were you," Coco advised me. "You do right by them, and they'll do right by you." The 3 of us climbed awkwardly onto the tailboard, and the 2 lorries drove on. We stopped
Now
somewhere
I'm
near
gonna get
Swiss
my
Cottage
crazy
for a
art
while.
white
There were perhaps
and
20
smooth
people inside,
everything out with it.
prowling with apparent aimlessness along the gutters. At the sound of the engines, every one of them had turned towards us with an incredulous expression on his face, and as if they were parts of a single mechanism, they began to close openly towards us, calling out as they came. drivers shouted to us to get clear. They backed, turned, and rumbled off by the way we had come. The converging people stopped. One or two of them shouted after the lorries. Most turned hopelessly and silently back to their wandering. There was one woman about 50 yards away. She broke into hysterics and began to bang her head against the wall. I felt sick. I turned towards my companions. Well, what do you want first? I asked them. A billet, said one. We've got to have some place to dose down. I reckoned I'd have to find that at least, though. I couldn't just dodge out and leave them stranded right where we were. Now we'd come this far, I couldn't do less than find them a centre, a kind of headquarters, and put them on their feet. What was wanted was a place where the receiving, storing, and feeding could be done and the whole lot kept together. I counted them. There were 52, 14 of them women. The best course seemed to be to find a hotel. You could save the trouble of fitting up beds and bedding. The place we found was a kind of glorified boarding house made up of 4 Victorian terrace houses knocked together, giving more than the accommodation we needed. There were already half a dozen people in the place when we got there. Heaven knows what had happened to the rest. We found the remnant huddled together and scared in one of the lounges. An old man, an elderly woman, turned out to have been the manageress, a middle-aged man, and 3 girls. The manageress had the spirit to pull herself together and
Alright, so I'm gonna work on this part of the body now.
even though her most severe boarding house manner was thin. The old man tried to back her up by blustering a bit. The rest did nothing but keep their faces turned nervously towards us. I explained that we were moving in. If they did not like it, they could go. If, on the other hand, they preferred to stay and share equally what there was, they were free to do so. They were not pleased. The way they reacted suggested that somewhere in the place they had a cache of stores that they were not anxious to share.
Now,
When they grasped that the intention was to build up
I'm
bigger
gonna keep
stores,
this
their attitude
wrong
modified
one.
perceptibly, and they prepared to make the best of it. I decided I'd have to stay on a day or two just to get the party set up. I guessed Gisella would be feeling much the same about her lot. Ingenious man, Coco.
I'm gonna get my premium color black,
But after that, I
fill
felt
in
out
her
of trouble.
eyes.
During the next couple of days, we worked systematically, tackling the bigger stores nearby. Mostly chain stores are not very big at that. Nearly everywhere there had been others before us. The fronts of the shops were in a bad way. The windows were broken in. The floors were littered with half-open cans and spilled
Do
packages which
her
had disappointed the
eyelashes.
finders, and now lay in a sticky, stinking mass among the fragments of window glass. But as a rule, the loss was small and the damage superficial, and we'd find the larger cases in and behind the shop untouched. It was far from easy for blind men to carry and maneuver heavy cases out of the place and load them onto handcarts. Then there was the job of getting them back to the billet and stowing them. But practice began to give them a knack with it. The most hampering factor was the necessity
Now
for
look at my
presence.
crazy art.
Little or nothing could go on
White.
unless I was there to direct. It was impossible to use more than one working party at a time, though we could have made up a dozen. Nor could much go on back at the hotel while I was out with foraging squads. Moreover, such time as I had to spend investigating and prospecting the district was pretty much wasted for everyone else. Two-sighted men who got through a lot more with twice the work. Once we had started, I was too busy during the day to spend much thought beyond the actual work in hand.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get the same thing, the premium color black, and go over her eyebrows with it.
That sounded all right, but every day it was tomorrow that I'd be able to do it, and each day it became more difficult. Some of them had begun to learn a bit, but still practically nothing from foraging to can opening could go on without my being around. It seemed, the way things were going, that I became
Get
less
the crazy art white.
None of it was their fault. That was what made it difficult. Some of them were trying so damned hard. I just had to watch them, making it more and more impossible for me to play the skunk and walk out of them.
Now do her
Dozen times
lips.
a day I cursed them out, Coco, for contriving
I don't know
the
what color
situation.
that is on her
Nothing come
lips,
to solve it. It just left me
but
wondering how
what
it
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this
I had my
brown
first inkling of that, though I
and just
scarcely
go over
recognized the
certain
sunshine the
parts
fourth morning.
with
Maybe
it.
it was the fifth, just as we were setting out.
Just the crazy
A woman
art
called down the
brown.
stairs that there were two sick up there. Pretty bad, she thought. My two watchdogs didn't like it. Listen, I told them, I've had about enough of this chain gang stuff. We'd be doing a lot better than we are now without it anyway. Whenever you sneaking off to join your old mob, said someone. Why not fool yourself, I said. I could have slugged this pair of amateur guerrillas any hour of the day or night. I've not done it because I've got nothing against them other than there being a pair of dim-witted nuisances.
This is the
One of my
premier
factions began to
color
expostulate.
brown.
But, I went on, if they don't let me see what's wrong with these people, they could begin expecting to be slugged any minute from now. The two saw reason. But when we reached the room, they took good care to stand as far back as the chain allowed. The casualties turned out to be two men, one young.
And I don't know what color red this is, but this is the premier color red.
I didn't know much about such things then, and I did not need to know much to feel worried. I could think of nothing but to direct that they should be carried to an empty house nearby, and to tell one of the women to look after them as best she could. That was the beginning of a day of setbacks. The next, of a very different kind, happened around noon. We had
I'm
cleared
gonna get
most of the
this
fruit
brown
shops close
again,
to
the
us,
premier
and
color
I
brown.
decided to extend our range a little. From my recollections of the neighborhood, I reckon we ought to find another shopping street about 40
Now I'm
miles
gonna get
from
this
the
crazy
north,
art
so I led my
white.
party that way.
Oh, wrong one.
We found a shop
The
there,
crazy
all right,
art white.
and something else too. As we turned the corner and came into view of them, I stopped. In front of a chain store grocery, a party of men were trundling
It's not
out
the
cases
same
of bedding
color
onto a lorry.
that's on the picture, but
Save
it
for the
still looks
difference in
really
the vehicle,
nice. I like
I might
it.
have been watching my own party.
Now,
I halted my group of 20 or so, wondering
this
what line we should take.
purple right here. No,
My
not
inclination
purple,
was
it's
to withdraw
violet.
and avoid possible trouble by finding a clear field elsewhere. There was no sense in coming into conflict when there was plenty scattered in various stores for those who were organized enough to take it.
Well, I got
But it did not fall to me to make
two
the decision.
different shades
Even
of
while I hesitated,
violet.
a
This
red-headed
is
young
the
man strode confidently out of the shop
premier
door.
color.
There was no doubt that he was able to
I
see.
got look like just a regular
A moment
violet
later,
and
he had seen
I
us.
don't know, a lighter violet.
He did not share my indecisions. He reached swiftly for his pocket. The next moment, a bullet hit the wall beside me with a smack.
This is a
There was a
darker
brief tableau.
than this.
His men and mine turning their sightless eyes towards one another in an effort to understand what was going on. Then he
But
fired
I don't
again.
think I want
I
to
suppose
use
he
that. I
aided
think
me,
I
but the
want to
bullet
use
found the man
this
on my left.
right
He gave
here.
a grunt as though he was
Look
surprised.
more like her
and folded
outfit that
up
she
the
got on
reflective
the
side.
picture.
I dodged back
So
round
let
the
me
corner
get
to bring the
started.
other watchdog with me.
This is the
I said, we
premier
need these
color
guys to come to a
red.
thing like this.
It's
He
a
didn't do
different
anything except
type
give a
of
knowing grin. He was a
red.
one-idea man. He said, come off it, you don't fool me. Oh, for God's sake, you damned clown. I said, putting on the chain to drag the body of watchdog number one nearer so that we could get better cover. The goon started to argue. Heaven knows what subtleties his nitwits were crediting me with. There was enough slack on the chain now for me to raise my arms. I did, and hammered both fists at his head so that it went back against the wall with a crack. That disposed of his argument. I found the key in his side pocket. Listen, I told the rest. Turn round, all of you, and keep going straight ahead. Don't separate, or you'll have had it. Get moving now. I got one wristlet open, rid myself of the chain, and scrambled over the wall into somebody's garden. I crouched there while I got rid of the other cuff. Then I moved across to peer cautiously over the far end of the wall. The young man with the pistol had not come rushing after us as I had half expected. He was still with his party, giving them instruction. And now I came to think of it.
I'm gonna blend it all out,
Why should he
just
hurry?
trying to
Since
fill
we
it
had not
in.
fired back at him, he reckoned we were unarmed, and we wouldn't be able to get away fast.
Okay,
When he'd finished his directions, he
now
walked
get
out
the
confidently into the
violet.
road to a point where he had a view of my retreating group, and then began to follow them. At the corner, he stopped to look at the two prone watchdogs.
The
Probably the
premier
chain
color violet.
suggested to him that one of them had been the eyes of our gang. He put the pistol back in his pocket and began to follow the rest in a leisurely fashion. That wasn't what I had expected, and it took me a minute to see his scheme. Then it came to me that his most profitable course would be to follow them to our headquarters and see what pickings he could hijack there.
Now I'm gonna use the
possibilities that might arise than I am.
crazy
I was
alt
glad that I
white.
told my lot to keep straight on. Most likely they'd get tired of it after a bit, but I reckon they'd none of them be able to find their way back to the hotel and slip in here to it. As long as they kept together, I'd be able to collect them all later on without much difficulty. The immediate question was what to do about a man who carried a pistol and didn't want to use it. In some parts of the world, one might go to the first house in sight and pick up a convenient firearm. Hampstead was not like that. It was a highly respectable suburb, unfortunately. There might possibly be a sporting gun to be found somewhere, but I would have to hunt for it. The only thing I could think of was to keep him in sight and hope that some opportunity would offer a chance to deal with him. I broke a branch off a tree, scrambled back over the wall, and began to tap my way along the curb, looking, I hoped, indistinguishable from the hundreds of blind men one had seen wandering the streets in the same way. The road ran straight for some distance. The red-headed young man was perhaps 50 yards ahead of me, and my party another 50 ahead of him. We continued like that for something over half a mile. To my relief, none of the front party showed any tendency to turn into the road which led to our base. I was beginning to wonder how long it would be before they decided that they'd gone far enough, when an unexpected diversion occurred. One man, who had been lagging behind the rest, finally stopped. He dropped his stick and doubled up with his arms over his belly. Then he sank to the ground and lay there, rolling with pain. The others did not stop there. They must have heard his moans, but probably they had no idea that he was one of themselves. The young man looked towards him and hesitated. He altered his course and bore across towards the contorted figure. He stopped a few feet away from him and stood gazing down. For perhaps a quarter of a minute he regarded him carefully. Then slowly, and quite deliberately, he pulled his pistol out of his pocket and shot him through the head.
I didn't know this was open.
The party ahead stopped at the sound of the shot. So did I. The young man made no attempt to catch up with them. In fact, he seemed suddenly to lose interest in them altogether. He turned round and came walking back down the middle of the road. I remembered to play my part and began to tap my way forward again. He paid no attention as he passed, but I was able to see his face. It was worried, and there was a grim set to his jaw. I kept going as I was until he was a decent distance behind me, then I hurried on to the rest. Brought up short by the sound of the shot, they were arguing whether to go on further or not. I broke that off by telling them that now I was no longer encumbered with my 2 IQ- watchdogs, we would be ordering things differently. I was going to get a lorry, and I would be back in 10 minutes or so to run them back to the village. The finding of another organized party at work produced a new anxiety, but we found a place in town. The only news they had for me was that 2 more men and a woman had been taken with severe belly pains and were moved to the other house. We made what preparations we could for defense against any marauders arriving while I was away. Then I picked a new party, and we set off in the lorry, this time in a different direction. I recalled that in former days when I had come up to Hampstead Heath, it had often been my wish to the place again easily enough. Not only found it, but discovered it to be marvelously intact. Save for 3 or 4 broken windows, the area looked
My arm got tired.
for a weekend.
Why did I pick this picture, man?
One thing, no such silence had ever before hung over the locality, weekday or Sunday. And there were several bodies lying in the street. By this time one was becoming accustomed enough to that to pay them little attention. I had in fact wondered that there were not more to be seen, and a conclusion that most people sought some kind of shelter either out of fear or later when they became weak. It was one of the reasons that one
So I'll get this premium color black,
I
filling
stopped
her
the lorry
hair.
in front of a provision store and listened for a few seconds. Silence came down on us like a blanket. There was no sound of tapping sticks, not a wanderer in sight. Nothing moved.
And I'm gonna go around underneath her eyes.
Pile out, chaps. The locked door of the shop gave way easily. Inside there was a neat, unspoiled array of tubs of butter, cheeses, sides of bacon, cases of sugar, and all the rest of it. I got the others busy. They had developed tricks of working by now and were more sure of their handling. I was able to leave them to get on with it for a bit while I
I'm using the Crazy Art White.
It was while I was below, investigating the nature of the cases down there, that I heard a sound of
And
shouts
this
somewhere
is my
outside.
cartoon picture
Close upon it came a
of
thunder of
Diana
truck
Ross.
boots on the floor above me.
I hope you
One
guys
man came
like
down
it
through
and
the truck
enjoyed it.
door and pitched on
Oh,
his head.
her earring. I almost forget.
Making on the sound. I jumped
Thank you,
to it that there
Jesus,
must
for
be a number
reminding
of
me.
the rifle gang in progress up there. I stepped across the fallen man and pried
Now,
the
get the
leather-like
Crazy
stair
Art
cautiously,
White.
holding up one arm to protect my head. The first view was of numerous scuffling groups
Alright,
unpleasantly close and
so I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I nipped up
This is my
quickly and got
cartoon
near before
picture
they
of
robbed me.
Diana
I was up
Ross.
just in time to see the plate glass
And
window in the
I'm
front
glad
give
I
way.
did it.
3 men from outside